Hello, my name is Ethan Wang. Today is Thursday, April 30th, 2020. On behalf of Asian American Civic Scholars, I'm interviewing Mr. Nguyen Violette, who is currently president of the St. Louis Asian American Chamber of Commerce, about how the ongoing coronavirus pandemic has impacted the activities of the organization and of its individual members. Thank you so much, Mr. Violette, for agreeing to be here today.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate the invitation, and I look forward to talking to you guys about kind of what we're doing.
So I just wanted to start off kind of with the beginnings of the crisis back kind of in January, December, February. Could you tell me a little bit about how AACC kind of viewed the COVID-19 crisis from its beginnings in China? Because I know many of the members have a lot of business and personal ties to mainland China and also to the Asian countries affected early on. Like, what did you think before the disease came to the U.S. and how did you guys kind of change your operations or attitudes as it spread throughout Asia?
Sure. Well, like a lot of people here in the U.S. as well as in St. Louis, this hit so quickly. Really, it was unprecedented, and as we started to learn about this over in China, like everybody, it was sort of confined, and we knew about it and knew of its existence. And then it feels like we blinked and it was here, and really then again you blink again and all of a sudden we're right in the heart of it. So there wasn't a long period of time that we could analyze it. It felt like it came so quickly that it went from something over in Asia to here in our doorstep so quickly. That we spent the first couple of months, I should say the first couple of weeks, really reacting and like everybody trying to figure out exactly what the impact was going to be at a local level.
Hmm. Did anybody did any of the business connections or operations get affected early on, or was this something that kind of got took more effect as it kind of spread over to the U.S.?
It really took more effect here as it got over to the U.S. I mean, we focus on, as an organization, we really focus on three aspects in a normal time, right? We work with some of the organizations here in St. Louis, the World Trade Organization, and some others, really helping fostering relationships internationally and bringing investments to St. Louis. Specifically from Asia. And then the next point is we work with Asian professionals in big companies and small companies here, making connections, helping them grow their relationships and their careers here in St. Louis. And then the third one, which has been a bigger focus, especially over the last year or so, which is really trying to grow our small business community. Here in St. Louis. So that's where a lot of the attention has been over the last 6 months. And this, with everything going on right now, it's really made that part even more important as an organization, as we focus on really driving our small business community and connecting them and driving business here.
Hmm. So as kind of the coronavirus really spread to the U.S., was there any moment or any kind of event that kind of led you to realize maybe that this would be something that would really affect pretty deeply Asian American businesses, maybe even to a greater degree than other businesses?
Yeah, I think, well, it was interesting. This hit at a time. Our biggest event of the year is actually would normally be next week. This year it was scheduled for May 6th, and it's our big connections dinner, an event where we bring in, we invite consuls general from different countries, as well as large business community and large business partners, as well as our small business community and members. And it's our big event. Last year we had over just about 550 people at this dinner. And we honor local Asian professionals who have made a difference. So we were right in January, right in the beginning of planning, and really putting a big push to that. So one of the big things that we had to make a decision on very quickly was, how long did we think this was going to last, and whether or not we should go ahead with this event. And we made the decision as a board. We talked about it and made a decision initially to just kind of delay it. And as this has gone through, we're still thinking about whether or not we can have it this year or not, or do we turn that focus again to more local business, helping our small business community and our local economy here. But the real change was when we realized that it was not going to just be it was not going to just be something that affected us as how we live our lives, but when it really hit the business community. So when they started announcing the stay-at-home orders and announced that they were going to really close businesses, and specifically, I can say is the big thing that everybody's focusing on right now is restaurants, right? And then we have a very, in St. Louis, we have a very vibrant Asian restaurant community, and I think it's a critical part of who we are as St. Louisans, whether or not it's our restaurants on Olive or restaurants down on Grand Avenue. We have a very strong community of restaurants and are vital to who we are as a city. And once that order came that those were going to close, we knew that was going to be a sudden massive impact on our community, and that's where we turned our focus to fairly quickly.
Yeah, I actually want to talk a little bit about that. I've heard from Min and from your online kind of outreach that you guys are doing like a program to kind of support Asian restaurants at this time. Could you just talk a little bit more about those programs, and like if you're planning to kind of future steps with that program?
Yeah. So what we are trying to do is both support them through awareness and driving and immediately driving how much can we drive traffic and drive actual business to them. So what we did is we put together a program that we talked to a few. We rolled it out to 2 places first, 2 restaurants, and we've since expanded it and are going to continue to expand it. Is what we've said to them is, listen, we want you guys to get as much, whether it's delivery or carry out business as possible. So we are funding. We said we'll do a 20% discount for anybody that calls in and mentions the Asian American Chamber of Commerce. Automatically give them a 20% discount to their order, and the AACC is going to fund it. So we wanted to make sure that the restaurants were getting as much economic help as they could, but also that way we're helping drive through our social media channels and our advertising traffic to them as well. So like I said, we started out with a couple, and every week we've added a couple more restaurants to that, and hopefully continue to do that. And the big thing is driving awareness, and trying to expand when people think about where am I going to go eat and things like that, to be top of mind to help these restaurants be top of mind, because their focus all of a sudden on, within 24 hours had to be, how are we going to keep our restaurants open? How are we going to deal with staffing? A lot of them didn't have a robust, whether it's delivery or curbside, service. So they were trying to focus on that. And we wanted to come in and try to help, drive the traffic. Drive the traffic there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So do you think that there's like maybe a reason why Asian American restaurants have maybe been hit harder than other types of restaurants?
I don't know for sure. I think there is. I've heard anecdotally that there is some fear, especially in the beginning, with the virus coming over from China, that there was probably initially some unfounded fear of and pushback to Asian restaurants. Again, I think that they're not as developed as far as and maybe some of them are not as well known. You have some that are have a very, very hard specific following of loyal patrons, I should say, and what we wanted to do was expand that. So we one of the things I did, and we did an interview, I did a radio interview, and I said, I challenge people to go out and not just continue to go and visit the restaurants that you know and have always gone to, but try something new, right? This is a great opportunity to, if you haven't been and tried a Korean restaurant, or tried this Chinese restaurant, or have, been to this sushi place, and a lot of, I'm like a lot of people, like, oh, I'd love to go there, and you just never kind of find the right time. This is a great opportunity to say, let's shake things up and try these different restaurants, and experiment a little bit, and that's what we were trying to do, make sure that they're top of mind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Dr. Liu also told me about this. What you guys are doing is like donating a bunch of meals to, is it hospitals? Is that something as well? Is that something like an AACC thing, or is that just something that
we are partnering with the Chinese Modern School, and they're working on this program alongside with us and done a lot of the legwork. But what we are doing is we are donating 500 meals to a variety of different places. A lot of them are going to hospitals. Some of them are going to fire and police stations within the city and the county. And that's how we're trying to cover really the first responders, as well as the hospital staff, as those are the people who have been, really tasked and kind of jumped in here and are really risking everything to kind of keep us safe. So this is our way to help try to give back to them, and provide them a little bit of relief as they're, working long hours and really protecting us. We want to make sure that they're getting everything that they need. So that program we're doing tomorrow, and we are doing about 250 or so lunches, and then about 250 dinners as well.
Mm-hmm. So, like mentioning the St. Louis Modern Chinese School, do you think that there's any way that kind of students, or I guess people who like young people can kind of get involved with community service, especially during this time?
Yeah, I think that there are, and hopefully this is one of the positives that can come out of this, is I'd say that there are a lot of organizations in this community that are really stepping up, and as I scour my social media, that I didn't know about before. And I think there is an opportunity, if people are interested in jumping in and volunteering, I would suggest, one, they can certainly reach out to our organization, the Asian American Chamber of Commerce, and whether it's working directly with us, or if they have specific other interests, that how they can help. We have one of the great things about our organization is we have members and very strong ties with all of the different communities, and they're all doing different things. So whether it's the Vietnamese community, the Pakistani community, or some of the different organizations, like the Chinese Modern School, that we can point them in that direction as well, based on what they want to do. So there is a lot of opportunity to jump in, whether it's helping out with delivering meals. There's a lot of the organizations are doing donating masks and helping put together masks and get them out to the community. I know there's the Vietnamese community has done a lot with that. So if that's of interest too, we could also help direct them and make contacts there. So we have contacts and ties with a lot of different organizations that we can help point them directions to, if it's not directly with us.